Oh, well, I just said a really good a lot of things and I didn't record them. That's okay. All right. So we're going to go into, no, reload that. That's okay. This is my handout. You guys, yeah. Here, Anna. All right. So what I wanted to mention is this bio, everything we're gonna really do is really in here in this bouge button, except for Remax decided to make the bio under your profile. So if you go into Remax and you want to update your profile, you just do update profile. And that's where you're gonna go in. Once it loads, you might direct plug in here and you will update your profile. While we're doing that, I'm going to click on Bouge because that might take a minute to load too, huh? Here we go. So under here, if you go into personal details, this is where your bio is. And so you can go in and update that. The other thing you might want to check is, do you want to add under professional details? Maybe you've gotten a, maybe you want to change your specialty. Just doing that will change something on your website. Maybe you want to change, maybe you got a designation. So those are just a couple things that maybe every other month you just make sure to go in and do. This is the list that I'll be working through that I'm going to send out to all of you. Okay. So that's the bio part of it. So again, we're going to click on Bouge. Bouge will bring us into our dashboard, and I am in Dawn's, but they get a little confused, but might be, but that's okay. So we're going to find out if Bouge thinks I'm in Dawn or Peppa's in a minute. But when you guys go in, you won't have this problem because you're not logging into 10 different pages. Okay. So you go into Bouge and you click website and dashboard. This is where your website stuff is. Give it a minute. No, it is published. So so even though it says Dawn up here, it does know I'm on Peppa's. So whatever. We're focusing in on Peppa's website. So you should have something like this. We're not going to change the home page. We're going to edit the agent search layout. This is how you edit the front page of your website. And I'm not going to go through everything in editing and how to build blocks. But most of you already have a bunch of blocks on your website. So you don't have to add them. If you want to add more blocks, come see me, email me. I'll send you some steps on how to do that. But if we go to Peppa's website, we can see this block corresponds with the headline. Listing block slideshow corresponds with this. These are her listings. She puts them up first. Corpus Christi second homes for sale corresponds with that. So it's just, it's those blocks. So some of you might have something here that says save search. It might say Zillow review. It might say bio. This is one of my first tips. So, well, update your bio is number one. Number two, we're going to go in and edit the details of these blocks. We're not going to go change a bunch of things that are already made. But for example, the headline, I'm going to click this little pencil. There's a couple things I could do here. If I wanted to, they really suggest uploading photos that aren't stock. Most of these are stock and by default. But if you wanted to, you could come in and upload a photo of San Antonio or a photo of, Helotes or something, right? However, I'm going to go in, I'm going to click on the photo. This is how you would change the photo. You can choose a photo from here, or you can choose a photo and add it. Let me just add a different photo for a minute. Insert. One doesn't let me change it as, so other photos, when you add them, will allow you to change some info, but because this is the header, we can't. So we'll show you that in the next one. Now the one area, this block detail. So if you click and go into block details, I'm going to say continue. Right here, you see it says headline. This is the default thing that it says. What I'm going to do instead is say Peppa Thomas, Realtor, San Antonio, homepage. That's it. I'll press save. Bouge is a little funny when you're on the details page. It doesn't necessarily, you have to go back to block content. It does save it. There we go. So we'll save it. It might show you that pop-up that makes it seem like it's not saved. And there you see, we changed it from headline to that. Next, it says listing block, slide, San Antonio homes for sale, things like that. So these are keywords. So this is her, these are her listings that I'm renaming. Oh, it's frozen. Hold on. Is it still working now, you guys? Working now. Okay. Yeah, I think it froze for a brief second. But you're just going to want to go in and under block details again, rename it to include some keywords. Now, I still want you to name it something so it lines up with this. So that's why I put homepage here. So you know, if you ever have to edit it, that's the homepage. Homes for sale, meaning those are Peppa's listings. This one we renamed Corpus Christi Vacation Homes, Spring Branch Homes for Sale. Now she has a Bulverde Homes for Sale. So if I went under here, I could use the pencil again. And if you guys want to know how to use, add these blocks, just message me. I'll show you how to do some of those, or I'll show you at least how to add a save search to your page, because that's probably a really cool one. So here it says Bulverde Homes for Sale because that's right here. But if I go into block details, it still says save search. So I'm going to go Bulverde, and I could even say Texas homes for sale. Save changes. And it should go back. There we go. So even under the bio block here, I'm going to skip the Zillow review, but under bio block, does someone have a question? Oh, and it's pulling in Dawn, so we're not going to mess with that right now. But I could have put in Peppa Thomas bio block, and this is because I was just in Dawn's thing, so it's very confused, but that's fine. It will go away. The video embed, I can actually click a pencil, say block details again, and say Peppa Thomas YouTube video. Right? Even under block content, this says your Remax agent is here for you. I could say like your Remax North San Antonio, but it only gives me 44 characters. I could do something like that, or 50 characters. Here, even, excuse me, under contact block, instead of it saying contact block, I could just in contact Peppa Thomas. Save changes. And that's it. And even here where it says contact me below, I might want to change it to Peppa Thomas, because me is a very general word, whereas Peppa Thomas is specific, and it adds more Peppa Thomases to the page. So Google, if it's searching, if someone says, oh, I'm considering hiring Peppa as my agent, I want to research her. If there's a ton of Peppa Thomases on a website, it's going to say, wow, this page must know a lot about Peppa Thomas. Let's show it to the person searching for Peppa Thomas. So that's how that works. So that is some brief, quick stuff about the homepage. Do you guys have questions about that? And Bobby, I saw your question. I will definitely talk to you about adding blocks for your neighborhoods. Yes. And before I do that, let me just show you one thing. Does anyone have a question? I'm sorry. I get excited and talk to you. Because I like this stuff. And that's the thing, like I like this stuff. So if you want to come in and sit down with me and do it, that's good. What I can't do is I don't necessarily have time for everyone to say, hey, here's my website. Will you just add a bunch of that stuff and add some saved searches? Well, what saved searches? What do you want me to add, right? So although I can go in and do some of this without you being here, I really prefer, like Peppa emailed me and said, hey, can you add a Corpus Christi saved search block to my page? Sure, I can definitely do that. So she did write up some pages. So I'm going to show you those in a minute. She wrote up some local search pages and I helped her adding the search, but she wrote some text, she added some photos. And so that's another thing we do. They're called local community pages. And I'll show you how to do those next. And Bobby, those are the type of pages, whereas these are saved search blocks where, I'll show you. If someone is on Peppa's page and they see one of these listings and they click on it, it's going to go show the listing. Or if you do view on map, it's going to show all the listings in that area. Whereas the community pages that I'm about to show you, if I scroll through here, she has a bunch of them actually. If I click on, hopefully they're working, knock on wood, Canyon Lake, these have more content on them. So this doesn't have a lot right now, but she could write a lot more about Canyon Lake. Here are the Canyon Lake listings. Right now it just says contact for questions, but there's a lot more she could do with this page to draw in more people looking for Canyon Lake real estate. And so I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. So really quickly, because it is the block I think I get requested the most. If you want to add a saved search to your front page, you would click add block. Then it's going to show us a list of every single type of block you can add to a page. You can either scroll or just type in saved, and I'm going to do save search block. And if this is too quick for anyone, I know, Brianna, I like the save searches too. If this is too quick for anyone, there's a Remax RU video that I can send you that's only a few minutes long that walks through this as well. Or you can go into Remax University and search for it. So here's one of the cool things to let you all know. We've added the Rockport MLS and the Corpus Christi MLS. We're not getting rid of that MLS ever for here on out. Kind of like in the past, we have the Four Rivers MLS, we have the Central Texas. We now have Corpus Christi, which does include some Rockport's a weird one, but some Rockport listings. And so if you guys want to make, Peppa works a lot in Rockport. So if you ever want to add one of these, that's why she has that. And yes, Brianna, Port A and Rockport, they are kind of in that Corpus MLS, but there's another MLS they add to. It's kind of confusing, but you can find Port A homes in there, yes. It just depends if the listing agent listed them on both. Well, let's say we're gonna do Helotes homes for sale. You would create the title. Again, you'd find that save search block, you'd add it, you'd create the title. You could say newest first. Under location, type in Helotes. Right here, it adds in a view more button. Always put in a view on map. And what that does is, if someone's looking, they'll see this button so they can see a whole map of listings and not just the newest 6. See right here how it's only showing me the first view. So I want that view more. All right, it's not populating. Let me try it again. Sometimes it takes a minute to populate them. And I have had to like go out. You can look, you guys can actually drill this down to neighborhoods. So if you're like, I just want Helotes Creek Ranch, you can do that. And it might not be sometimes it takes a minute to populate. You could also like, we're not going to get into this really, but you can even drill it down by, I only want to show listed today. I only want to show condos. I only want to show land, whatever. So this should be populating. It's not right now, but hold on. I'm going to go into, let's save it. I'm going to go into the block details and again, change it from save search to Helotes Homes for sale. I can even say, oh, I want it to be a grid, which puts them, you can see like 6 homes across, or I like the slideshow better. Block whoops. Let's save changes. Block content. Let's try this again because it didn't. Oh, it looks like it finally pulled it up. If for some reason it doesn't seem to pull it up or it didn't save it, just try it again or save it and go back into it. It's just a little finicky. Helotes again. Oh my gosh. And then you just save it and that adds it to your website. But as you can see, it's adding it below her contact. So what I would do is scroll down here, click on it, hold your click and drag it and it will move it. And now it's there. I'm going to delete it because she doesn't need that one, but maybe you do. But that is how you really quickly just add those save search, and just having those on there is so nice. I'm going to exit. It's so nice because it really adds that those extra community things. So just remember just to add text with some keywords. We're in the pages now, but I'm going to show you how to get to this a different way. Dashboard. Okay.
Frankie, can we add other links? I guess we could just add a link now that I think about it, but what about having a page from like another website there?
So like, you can, here's my thing, like, it depends on what that content is. Like if you're let me just show you one really quick.
What if it's like from Sabor and it's all just the market stats there?
You could totally add that in, yeah. There's ways to add links and things. Just one thing I would say is if it's something you can like recreate, I don't know why it's doing that. I'm gonna have to call them. If it's something you can recreate, then try to recreate it because it puts that info on your page. And that's really important. I don't, but we are going to get into creating those community pages, local community pages, and other than local community, as well as local community pages, other types of pages you can create on your page that help SEO are things like schools in San Antonio. On our current website, other than people searching for homes, not that we have the rmnsa.com one, the schools page gets the most traffic each month. And so if I click on it, this is literally all it is. Here's some school information, and then it's links to every single school ISD. And I'm gonna give you all a pro tip here. And then I did like add in like, here's great schools. Here's, if you're interested in charter schools, here's a charter school one. But if you just want to add this school page to your page, just let me know and I'll help you create it, because I really think that you could probably just copy and paste. this part right here, the center part, you can copy and paste and it should bring the links over and you guys have a school page. So that's just another tip. But this right here is great SEO because next to San Antonio, people are going to be searching for Harlandale ISD. Oh, I'm thinking about moving to San Antonio. What is the South San Antonio School District like? What is the, oh, I heard about St. Mary's Hall. So we're just adding more credibility that our website is the place to find things about San Antonio. Another page that I'm not going to go over, but just to show you as an example, because I really want to focus on those community pages, is around San Antonio. And so this one is created using some other types of blocks, but we basically went in and just said, here are things to do around San Antonio. Go to Six Flags, link to Six Flags. Go to downtown, visit downtown, botanical gardens, etc. Here's some San Antonio blogs to check out. So just San Antonio living. So this gets a little bit more in depth. This is like if someone really wants to spend a lot of time doing this. But before you get into this, I still suggest you focus first on these the specific community pages, because you're a real estate agent. People want to know about specific communities, as well as there are already a lot of pages out there with 10 things to do in San Antonio. There are less pages out there about Triana and Helotes, or Alamo Ranch, or College Park, or very specific neighborhoods, as well as like Helotes, Castle Hills, things like that. So before you do just a San Antonio page, I would consider doing certain like Lackland communities around Lackland Air Force Base. Great page. Stone Mountain communities, there's a lot to choose from, right? So whether it's a certain area that you hone in on, or you go in and do specific subdivisions, I think those are going to be the best local community pages. So here is how we're going to do a community page. Now, under website, you will be able to go into pages and add a page, but the very first time, I'm going to suggest you do it under templates, and you're going to create your own template. And the reason you're going to do that is if you do this once, you can simply keep on doing it. You can keep on using that page. So she has a couple templates in here. So instead of going into templates, I'm going to go into pages now. Add a new page, and instead of create new page, I'm going to say create from a template. I can use Bulverde Spring Branch because that was the template that is already set up as a community page. And then I can start it. So that would be if you were creating from a template, but I should show you guys from scratch the first time. So we're going to go into templates. There's my create new template page. And you could call this this first page you're going to do, or you could call this the community. Let's start with, I'm trying to think of what I'll do first. A neighborhood to do. Give me a neighborhood.
West Elm.
I like to put in San Antonio because there's probably 25 other, especially if it's a specific neighborhood, because there's probably, how many other Westover Elms in the US. So I'm going to say, you can use lots of different things. You could say, explore Helotes. Welcome to Westover Elms subdivision, San Antonio, Texas. If it's Lackland Air Force Base, you might want to do a description such as Lackland Air Force Base resources. So try to think of like what people are looking for. Let me see, community community and real estate information. And I'm going to save. So because I'm not starting from a template, it has nothing yet. The first thing you have to do is add a hero image. We will choose an image. I can upload a photo. What would be great for this is if you, and always take them horizontally, not vertically, but if you were in the Westover Elms community or, you know, another subdivision and you took a photo, then you could upload that photo and use it. But because we don't, we'll just kind of scroll through here. You see there's tons of different ones. You can even come up to name and say, search for like interior photos. I like interior photos because you can't really tell where they are. But we can choose one. You can choose that. Insert. And say, the title is going to go here. So I'll say Westover Elms Subdivision Community Real Estate Information. I could add in more here if I wanted to, more keywords such as, you know, community events. If it was Lackland, I might say, or area businesses and more, right? And now I won't forget the block details. Cancel, whoops. Save, press the save button. I go back, click on block details, and I'm going to change this from hero image to Westover Elms homepage. Save changes. There we go. Now, one of the first blocks I always want to add is just a generic text block. And here is where you could easily write some information. This is a great place to include keywords. Westover Elms subdivision. Let's see, if someone was searching for it, they might say is outside of Loop. They might say Westover Elms subdivision outside of 1604. And then you could add in here, it is comprised of so many homes. They were mainly built here. You know, if you know there's a community, it has a community center. Here are the amenities. It is very close to the Alamo Ranch, or to SeaWorld. It's close to the Alamo Ranch Shopping Center. It's close to the new Petranco area shopping center, Dove Creek, whatever, you know, or maybe it's in between Dove Creek and Alamo Ranch, because these are the type of things people might search for, even though it's not in Alamo Ranch. They might say communities near Alamo Ranch, communities near SeaWorld to live in, real estate. So you're thinking of those keywords to put in here. So I would definitely say, yeah, it may, right? We're just hoping it will eventually. Close. Here is SeaWorld with easy access to 1604 and 151, something like that. Easy commute to Lackland. Like how many people do you know are coming here that want to search for an easy commute to Lackland, right? Now, I would save this before you go back to block details, because I think you lose it, and then you might have to edit it again and go in here, block details, and say, wrong, sorry. Save changes. Never just saves there. I have to click save changes again. There we go. So some sort of header. Now, the shortest way to do this page is to have that home page with the photo, subdivision, like have some sort of info in there. And then we're going to add a block. and you're going to type in save search. We're going to do that save search again that we did on the front page, but this time we're going to come in here. So the blessed, this is the one that it pulled up. We're going to click on there. View on map, and look at that. It's already, there's only one listing in there, but that's okay. Kind of cool that it pulls it up, right? So that's a small one, but that's okay because people want to see what's for sale in that specific subdivision.
320.
So that's what you can do for that. So you just save it, and now you have that save search in here. Now, I will say, let me just double check. It does get a little hard to add things in. So let's just say Lackland, what it pulls up. Okay, so there is a Lackland Air Force Base search. Now, just to give you an example, Peppa wanted a page that was for Bulverde and Spring Branch, because so many people look for homes and just say Bulverde and Spring Branch, or Spring Branch, right? So she wanted a page that featured both communities. So instead of just one of these, you can't, the one thing you can't do in the search right now, which we're asking them to fix, is say, all right, add in this search all the homes in Bulverde and all the homes in Spring Branch. You have to pick one. So you have to pick a subdivision. You have to pick, if the neighborhood is listed, you pick that neighborhood. You have to pick a city. You have to be specific. You can pick a zip code. However, you can add multiple save search blocks. So if I wanted to add another one, I just added here. And again, I could go in and change this SEO. And then really the final thing you need to, that I would definitely put in here, you can scroll through, there's tons of pages, and I'll mention a few other options, but is that contact form. Contact me, or contact Peppa Thomas with your West Over questions. I'm just adding that word in there again, and I could go into block details again, but so if you just add those things and create that community page, that is increasing your SEO so much more than everyone who hasn't done anything to their page, and many of them haven't. And that's not just Remax. That's all the people that Keller Williams gives a website to and they don't do anything to. That's all the people that Cole Banker gives a very generic website. I don't even think it's more than they can probably only do their bio. So the fact that you can add more of these things in is huge. Now, that was a very simple thing to do. And the couple other blocks you could add to this that I would suggest are, you might want to do something like an image and text, or where you maybe have a picture of one picture of the amenity center, and right next to the text, hey, here's the amenity center in West River Elms, this is what it looks like, or in Alamo Ranch here, or here's the Valley Ranch crazy pool area, right? Now you can also do an image and text gallery, and I like this one because you can come in here and add an image. And maybe if you're doing a page on Lackland or Brooks, you say, here's some great businesses around here. So you can then upload pictures of those businesses. Let's just do, we have coffee and latte. So I'm gonna grab a coffee one, insert, and I might say, coffee awesome, or I might name the coffee shop, or area coffee shop, and write, looking for a great place to grab a cup of coffee near West Over Elms, because you want those keywords. What, there it is. this coffee shop is located off, name the specific road in San Antonio, right? You can give the address, you can do that. They even allow you then to put in their website and say coffee shop website. So you're creating those backlinks or those links to other places, and then you save it. There's number one. You add an item. I just like food, as everyone knows. Oh, there's a fun one, farmer's market. You could do, here's the farmer's market. There's a farmer's market, and that is 3 miles away. They have one every Saturday, right, at Alamo Ranch. They have the little market. You could do that. Or favorite ice cream place. Here, same thing. Here's my favorite ice cream place. And then it's just creating this resource that when someone goes to your page, they are finding all this great info on that neighborhood. So that is just an extra tidbit. I'm going to send this out, the my list of other things you can do so that you can add them. But if you do this once, if you build this template once, then every other time you do it, so if you already have like the header, the just the text box, then you add the save search, and then below the save search, maybe you add the info on the area shops, and then your contact page. And you can do little things like there's dividers if you guys want to do or so, you can add a video in here, but I just want to show you a page divider. Save. The reason I'm doing the page divider is I'd probably put it in between here. So there you go, there's a line. But the reason you're doing that is then at the next time you go, you can do, all right, when you click page and you click use a template and you click this template, these will all be here. You just have to change them to Alamo Ranch, College Park, Triana, you know, whatever, and you update the photos and you already have it. So it's very quick and easy and you don't have to do it all from scratch every time. So just a few other things I wanted to add. So other community page ideas, if you wanted to, you could do a community page like we already showed, things to do in San Antonio, maybe arts and cultures in San Antonio museums. And then one thing I would also mention is your reviews. Hopefully you're collecting reviews because reviews add a lot of keywords in. And so Peppa has her Zillow reviews on there, which is great. You can also add your reviews. You can add the testimonial block to your front page, and let me know if you need help with that. I'll send you a quick little RU video on it. But what you'll do then is go into reviews, and you can copy and paste any reviews you gather. And so you want to do that because that adds those keywords in. Because if someone says, Ana Esparza was great to work with as a first-time home buyer, then people, and we moved to San Antonio, there's some keywords, move, San Antonio, first-time home buyer for things people, you know, oh, what agent in San Antonio works with first-time home buyers? Oh, look, Ana does. Now, I'm not telling you guys that this works like instantly. SEO takes a long time to build, and there are people whose only job it is to build this stuff for websites, but every little bit counts. And it really helps your credibility when an agent looks you up. So just a couple other things to add before I take some questions. Claim all of your, so other things you can do that are not directly on here. Claim your pages. Claim your Google page, your Zillow page, your Realtor page, your homes.com page, and make sure you put your website in, because that way it creates a link to Google Business. Is very reliable. Zillow is a reliable website. As much as we hate it, it's a reliable website that a lot of people visit, so Google holds it in high esteem. And so if you have your link on there, Google says, oh, that link must be good, right? You know, sometimes they are. So it's just putting that in there. Try to stay consistent when you claim these pages. And this list that I have, there's a link that says 50 free websites to list your business. There's actually only 48 on them, but maybe there was 50 and they edited it and took out the other two. But if you go to this website, it will give you like, you don't have to, don't do them all. Don't stress yourself doing them all. And I hate Yelp, so I'm not going to tell you to do Yelp, but you can do it if you want to. But go to these websites, put your info in, and keep it consistent. So I have agents that have old phone numbers, 2 cell phone numbers. They only want to use the office phone number. They don't want to use it, whatever. They have, I know a lot of you have different emails. We won't even get started on how many of you have like 5 emails that you use. Use one email, use one phone number, your name. So example, and I try my best to like my real name is Frances. Everywhere you see, you'll see Frankee. If someone put up a profile that had Frances on it, I would say that's not me. So try to stay consistent with your name. Rosa Garza knows that there's a lot of other Rosa Garzas. Jesse Garza knows that there are a lot of other Jesse Garzas. They are very SEO smart, that team. And that is one reason they've done very well. And so they said, well, if someone's going to search for me, I'm going to make sure they find it. And so everywhere they put their middle name, Rosa Thelma Garza, Jesse Renee Garza. And I always have to remember to put it. But if you use a middle initial, as I know some people do, always use it. Don't just use it, oh, maybe I'll add it this time, maybe not. No, always use it, because the consistency is what helps the search engine say this is the same person. Use your social to send people to your website. Social media like Facebook and Twitter doesn't totally help your SEO, but it helps it in that it can help create visitors. And the more people that visit your website and stay on your website, the better. Change up your website a little on occasion. I mentioned that going into your profile. YouTube, if you want to start posting videos on YouTube, and Bobby, I know we need to meet about that, the link to your YouTube, but if you want to start creating videos, you need to use YouTube because Google loves YouTube. They are the same company. So using YouTube to add in keywords, there's a place for a description in YouTube. Making videos about things people would search for, whether it's what happens at a home inspection and you sit in front of a camera and talk 2 minutes about what happens in front of at a home inspection. Might sound cheesy, it might not be the best quality, but hey, people are looking for that info. They don't care if you're at home or like you have professional cameras. They just want that info. Or if you're just saying, hey, here are the best restaurants in Alamo Heights, right? Or here are the best restaurants near Woodlawn. They love that information. So you're adding neighborhood keywords in. Blogger takes a lot of work. Blogger is a place to blog, but if you start creating blogs and adding links to that, that's even more. I don't suggest doing blogs because I think people don't have time to do them, to be quite honest. But if you think you have time and you like to write, you can do that. And I suggest Blogger because it is a Google product, and so Google likes the info on it. They want to promote it. If you send a monthly newsletter, create links in it that go back to your website. And then the last thing on this sheet that I have here are a few videos in Remax University that basically cover some of this stuff in more in depth, or they might be short. Some of them are just short videos on how to do this and how to do that. So I'll send that out as well. Do you guys have any questions? I know it's a lot of information, so don't feel like you need to absorb it all. You can always come sit with me about it.
Definitely a lot of good info, Frankee. I'm really excited, honestly. You did say that this class was recorded though. So where would we find that link?
I'm going to have to upload it to our YouTube page.
Okay, good stuff.
Any other questions? Oh, yes. All right, I'm gonna say goodbye for now then. And I will email out this, I'll probably try to get this uploaded first, and then I'll email out the sheet as well. All right.
Awesome, thanks.
Bye all.
Bye-bye.